All right, let's do the Mary Kay way. Chapter number 16, be a risk taker. When we started our business, we were all well aware of the risks. Oh my goodness. Every single penny I had went into this investment. And my son, Richard, was a life insurance agent and he had to quit his job. He was making $480 a month to work with his mother on her crazy idea at only $250 a month. He went from 480 to 250. A few months later, Ben, her other son, gave up his $750 job a month in Houston and moved his family to Dallas to join us for the same pay as his brother Richard. Can you imagine? Richard and Ben took substantial reductions in salaries, and I put my lifetime savings of $5,000 on the line. I desperately wanted to start my own business. It was my only chance to be self-employed. All bridges were burned. By the way, that's a really good technique to win. Burn all of your bridges. The business had to succeed. It had to. If I failed as a middle-aged woman in the early 1960s, it would have been very difficult for me to find a job. That's for sure. Unquestionably, being at risk was the major inspiration also being innovative, hardworking, and highly motivated. Thank goodness for America's free enterprise system. It was alive and well. Our hard work paid off and we were rewarded for our efforts. Thank the Lord. At Mary Kay Inc., we encouraged people to display that same kind of risk-taking spirit that inspired us in the early days. There's a certain type of person who thrives in such an environment, particularly when adequate incentives are provided. And I feel it's the job of the leader to create this atmosphere. So again, certain type of person who thrives, particularly when adequate incentives are provided. Okay. People fail forward to success. A risk-taking environment starts at the top of the corporation. If the CEO doesn't have this spirit, chances are you won't find it anywhere else in the organization. Good for Johnny. He is leading us into new stuff. It's a quality that permeates from above. The CEO gives executive officers freedom to take risks, and they in turn extend the same freedom to those who report to them. Each leader within his area of responsibility is a decision maker. And when two leaders are in conflict, top management supports the person under whose jurisdiction the decision belongs. Of course, there are times when decisions that are made ultimately prove to be incorrect. That's true. This is bound to happen in a company that encourages people to take risks. At Mary Kay Inc., we have a popular saying that is most applicable. People fail forward to success. I think it's vital for people to be free to take risks and be permitted mistakes along the way. That is what nourishes personal growth and creativity. I failed miserably at my very first Mary Kay skincare class. I didn't know that. I'm learning a lot from this. I was anxious to prove that our skincare products could be sold to small groups of women, and I wanted to make my first show a huge success. But that evening, I sold a grand total of $1.50. When I left, I drove around the corner, put my head on the steering wheel, and cried, "What's wrong with those people?" I asked myself, why didn't they buy this fantastic product? Bursts of fear flashed through my mind. Oh, this is so good for new consultants to listen to, and for all consultants, because we all feel this at some point or the other. My initial reaction was to doubt my new business venture. Can you believe it? She put everything into this, and her sons did too. I became worried because my lifetime savings were tied up in this company. I looked in the mirror and asked myself, what did you do wrong, Mary Kay? And then it hit me. I never even asked anybody to order. I had forgotten to pass out order cards, and had just expected those women to buy automatically. Well, that was a good learning thing. And you can bet I didn't make that same mistake at the next skincare class. Yes, I failed, and for a few brief moments, I was fearful. But after analyzing what had happened, I learned from that failure. I shared this story thousands of times with our Mary Kay audiences. I want them to know that I failed at my first skincare class. But I refused to give up. That's the most important. I failed forward to success. I truly believe that life is a series of many attempts and many failures before we realize success. The important thing is to keep on trying. Even before that fateful skincare class, I had known failure. Years earlier, my first job was with a company that sold its product through the party plan. During my first few weeks, I averaged only $7 a party. The hostess received a $5 gift. And with a $7 sales volume, you can easily see I had a problem. Oh my gosh. But I constantly looked for ways to improve my skills, and eventually I became a top salesperson. Today, I like to remind people that it wasn't easy for me either when I started out, but there's no disgrace in failing. The only true failure is the person who gives up. Someone once remarked to Thomas Edison that he failed 25,000 times while experimenting with the storage battery. No, I didn't fail, the brilliant inventor replied. I discovered 24,999 ways that the storage battery doesn't work. In his lifetime, Edison received 1,093 patents for inventing such devices as the phonograph, motion pictures, the electric pen, wall wax paper, and of course, the incandescent lamp. Imagine the number of times Edison experienced failure during his long, remarkable career. We can all be thankful for his tenacity in refusing to accept a single failure as a permanent defeat. Yes, and Mary Kay too. We wouldn't be here without her defeat, but her perseverance. While it's true that there's risk associated with starting any new business, since there's no way of knowing in advance who has the intestinal fortitude to succeed in our field, I simply believe that every woman should be given an opportunity. Remember that. Mary Kay said every woman should be given an opportunity. Not everyone has the intestinal fortitude to succeed, but everyone should be given the opportunity to own her own Mary Kay business. If she succeeds, it could be the best opportunity she's ever had. Yes, it's a calculated risk, but a woman can greatly improve the odds by applying hard work and tenacity. When a new beauty consultant decides to start her business, she makes a small investment in her starter kit, which gives her the essentials to hold her first skincare classes. Should she also place an inventory order, we minimize this risk by guaranteeing to buy back any unused products at a 90% of her cost within 1 year after the date it was purchased. Some start their businesses on a part-time basis until they're convinced they will enjoy it and make a good living as a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant. Someone with another full-time position, for example, can start by conducting skincare classes in the evenings and on weekends. Thus, she would terminate her original job only after she had proved to herself that she could earn enough money in her Mary Kay business to warrant a full-time commitment. In this way, she reduces the risk inherent in a straight commission selling position. Not everyone will be a winner. When any company encourages innovation, it must accept the fact that not every acceptable idea will be a winner. In fact, a creative new project that arouses everyone's excitement when it is presented may be very disappointing once it's tried out. Several years ago, for example, we had such a project called Business in a Box. This was a system to assist independent sales force with organizing their bookkeeping and managing that time. It was the brainchild of one of our vice presidents, and once the idea was approved, we incurred considerable expense in setting it up. While its main purpose was to simplify bookkeeping, the independent sales force thought it was overly complicated and they roundly rejected it. We ended up with a warehouse full of boxes that had absolutely no value to anyone outside of the Mary Kay organization. The project failed, but its creator was not ostracized for it. To have done so would have discouraged others from submitting their creative ideas. So be a risk taker. Mary Kay wanted us to be, continue to be. I know you will.